Everybody, welcome to the Sci-Fi Sisters Live Tuesday show. What's up? What's up?
What's up? What's up?
I'm Tamia Harper. I'm joined by my sisters, Yvette Blackman-Tom.
Hello.
And Sabrina Wood.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. And Fran T. Fran T will be here in a minute. There's some technical difficulties going on, but she's going to be joining us as soon as she can. And,
it's not me this time. It's not me.
Don't speak too soon.
I know, right? Knock on wood, girl. Knock on wood. We are proud to say that Ore Silversmiths is the proud official sponsor of the live show. So explore Ore Silversmiths for beautiful crafted jewelry, including the Sci-Fi Sisters collection by clicking on the link in the show description, okay? Mm-hmm. And this week's live show, we are also happy to say, is sponsored by Stickman, Washington, D.C.'s premier jazz fusion band. You would think that I'm actually from D.C. I can say the town that I'm from. They're a great band. Please check them out, please, guys. And
folks can find more about them in the link in the description, www.stickmanbanddc.com.
Thank you. Thank you, Yvette. So the real deal. Why are we here tonight? We're here because we're super excited about what's going to happen on October 3rd, which is going to be the Women of Trek for Kamala Harris, right? Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yay! So joining us, right? Vote. So joining us tonight, we're going to have Ms. Marnie Mosiman, who portrayed Cultured Woman in TNG episode Loud as a Whisper. And, you might know her husband. And Ms. Kitty Swink, and you might know her, y'all, portrayed the Bajoran Minister of Roseanne in DS9 episode Sanctuary, which was one of my favorites. And you might know her husband as well. But we know these two women by themselves, and we love them very dearly.
And other episodes too. Yeah. And other stuff too.
And Cracking Into the Wind, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
James, yeah.
Oh, the Breen. That's the Breen one. That was cool.
Yeah. Welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you so much.
We also have joining us tonight our dear favorite little sis, Ashlei Sharpe Chestnut. Ensign Sydney LaForge is Star Trek Picard. Hi, Ashlei.
Hi.
And our favorite actress. She's my heart. She's right. I'm sorry. I still get a little tongue-tied. It's Michelle Hurd, y'all. This is still like my fourth time talking to you, and I still go, still. And I mean no disrespect. It's just that this woman represented me on the screen.
Yeah.
And I'm growing my hair back out, Michelle.
Yes, you are.
Got to.
I'm trying to grow my crown out again.
Michelle, I have to tell you that I said to the ladies on the phone the other day that if they really wanted to get to know you, they had to walk the picket line with you.
I heard.
Stand next to me and you'll know exactly who I am. Exactly.
Yeah. Love it.
So, y'all, this is a huge deal that what started off as excitement, right? As soon as the announcement was made, as soon as President Biden said, hey, I'm going to pass this torch to Kamala Harris. And we all went, yeah. And then right. And then everybody I know collectively in the Trek community was like, okay, what are we going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
What are we going to do? Yep. But Kitty and Marnie, you guys got organized lickety split, right?
We tried. I had this thought. I thought, okay, so what can I do besides the
postcards and going door to door, all that stuff, which in California is a little not so great because, we're all on the same side, seems like. So I thought, well, what's the most powerful group of women that I know? And I thought, commanders, the women who are in charge, all of those things, the Trek. I thought, well, I know a lot of those women. And then I called Kitty and I said, I think we should do this. She came over and we sat down and came up with seize the moment, make it so.
Yeah.
And we nothing more than that to start with.
We sent like 5 emails and 1 text, and the first person I heard back from was Michelle Hurd, because I texted her, like, yes, boom.
Yeah.
Because she's a goddess, and there
She is.
and you guys just recently started introducing me to people, which is how we met Ashlei. Thank you for coming
Thank
aboard.
you. Yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
And
There was no
it's
way
just
that I couldn't respond, Kitty.
from there, and people hear about it and they go, oh, wait a minute, I want to go,
So it's growing every day. Every day, more people are going, can I join? And we say, please, we want you. We just didn't know how to get a hold of you. So it's great.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no way that I couldn't respond to you, Kitty. You always have such good, the mission in your heart and what you do is so strong. And we're all on the same page here. It's super important for us all to have our voices be heard, get out there, register, vote. We got to tell 2 friends and so on and so on. You know what I was thinking the other day, that how kind of crazy the situation is, that this is probably the only way that we could have, and perhaps I won't jinx it, getting as close as we can to getting a female in the presidency by this means, because we saw what happened to Hillary. We know that every time that a female gets up there, they spend so much time just trying to beat us down, take us out, whatever. And, thanks for Biden's grace and his generosity, that he stepped aside and handed that mantle, and that we had just like 100 days. This is the reason that we are getting so far, because this country is, she's late to the table right now. She's a little late on getting a leader, and it's past time. And I think because we had such a truncated amount of time, this was the way that we had to break that ceiling.
Yes. And thank God for Biden having the faith in her that an awful lot of people did not. Because she'd really fulfilled that role of vice president so well in terms of supporting and being there as women frequently do. And so she just didn't get the credit that she deserved. So anyway, it was terribly exciting. Yeah, I knew she'd been going around doing a lot of universities, and she had a huge following among the young people. And I would say that to people, and they go, no, I don't think so.
And we were like,
I feel like younger people are getting really excited. Like, I know a lot of people, at least in my circle, are like actually excited about a candidate. It doesn't feel like, yes, there's a necessity for us. We have to vote, but there is a sense of extra urgency for this specific election, which I'm feeling like with my fellow millennials.
We have a real live young person with us right there.
Amazing.
Yeah. Ashlei being here is great, and the millennials are really into it. I have a millennial that I birthed, and they're actually, they're really into this election, which I am so happy about. But what I'm really happy about is I also have those other ones. I think they're called, what are they? Gen Z?
Gen Z.
I have those too, and they are, but they're excited, but them. They're always doing something, they got TikToks. They were sitting in here just before the thing. They made a TikTok about, the Kamala and something about Tim. It was like something Tim, Kamala, Tim. I was like, all right, whatever, just go for it, But I think everybody's just so excited because she brings so much joy to the table, and it's not forced. And I think that's why I think as Star Trek fans, we love joy, because
joy and hope.
Star Trek is and hope,
right?
And hope. But and then our Gen Z, they're Obama kids. They they don't get why, their parents are so like, oh my God, this is so great. They're like, yeah, this is what's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
They don't get why we're so, they get it, but it's
normalized for them.
Yeah, which is so
normalized for them.
So I think we're in good hands, honestly. I really do.
I think we're in great hands.
Yeah.
The other thing about the kids are doing that kills me is as angry as I am about the eating the cats and eating the dogs, I go to TikTok and I find these hysterically funny,
hysterical,
Trump and JD Vance videos, and they make me go, okay, maybe I can sleep tonight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
It is really, it's a tragedy that that our ex-president is getting away with so much dangerous, and quite violent speech. Right now they're all saying, the Democrats, it's our fault that there's been assassination attempts, and you want to go, no, my friends, it's what you are saying to people. Yeah. You can't blame us because somebody doesn't like you.
Yeah.
It has to be calmed down. I mean, if we go through the past 12 years and put up a little tally of all the negative, aggressive, violent, misogynistic, racist, xenophobic, add to the list things that these individuals have said, and they have done no type of apology or ownership of that.
They've given permission for all of that to happen. I mean, they basically made it okay.
I mean, I remember back in the day, we had Democrats and Republicans, and we could have polite discourse.
Very much so.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a decent girl.
About something other than cats and dogs. I mean, discourse about things that really have to be dealt with and talked about. Not this foolishness, which is what I think a lot of people are looking for. What the Harris ticket is, that please take us away from this foolishness. We're wasting so much time. And, we've got really serious problems.
Well,
I think that's the key now, too, is that, for the past week, we've been talking about cats and dogs, right? And not about and it was a really good tactic to get us away from the issues that he's really weak on, which is abortion, and women's right to choose. And which is I think okay, we had our fun with the cats and the dogs, but if we stay focused on what our issues are, we can't let the crazy derail us all the time, because the crazy is going to be crazy every day. All day long.
I think your point on that, I think currently, as the millennial young person, it's just nuts to me that my mom had more reproductive rights than I do.
Yes.
And it's just nuts to think about how Republicans are criminalizing women and doctors for abortions and IVF fertility treatments, when even today Republicans blocked the IVF protections bill.
Yes, they did.
Right.
And to say that Republicans are pro-life, or they speak for pro-life folks, but vote against bills to help working families, like Head Start, free lunches, or even after-school programs, and are fighting against Obamacare insurance. It's just wild.
A plan. We got a plan.
Right.
We're working on a plan.
When you see those lately, people have been posting pictures of the 50s in Iran and in Afghanistan, and the women are in short skirts, and they're walking around, and they've got the books under their arms. It was the 50s, and now they've just completely reversed it.
And can we just say all the just I'm gonna just say it because I feel like I need to say it whenever I'm on any platform. Abortion is a issue between a woman and their doctor. Okay, their issue. No business. Don't ask me about how many weeks. Don't ask me some bullshit like that. It has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with anybody else except for this individual and their doctor. Period. End of discussion. And can we just put this to rest? There is no such thing as a 9-month abortion.
Thank you.
Why is that not being?
I listened to this man say, well, there are some places where the child is born and the child's put over outside, and the doctor goes over to the mom and says, do you want to keep it or not? Okay, you don't, and we kill it. Bullshit.
Right.
That's called murder, first of all.
That's called, exactly.
And that's
called murder. That's called
and we
murder.
don't. It's not acceptable anywhere. I think.
No,
I love how the debate moderator was
real
like,
serious about this. I have a friend, my dear friend, who had 2 late-term abortions, one at 5.5 and one at 7.5. They didn't find out until the second one that these 2 individuals, in the medical history books, there's or medical books, there's 1 page on this phenomenon. These 2 individuals chromosomally are not capable of creating a feasible pregnancy. They didn't find this until 7.5 months. Do you guys understand that this woman, those are 2 of her babies?
Yes.
Those were 2 of her babies, her sons, that she named and buried. She had no desire whatsoever to have to go through that procedure. But it was a necessity to keep her alive. Not to mention the fact that she would have given birth to a baby whose brain was outside of their body. This is the truth. This is why we have such a procedure. It's not when somebody's just like kicking back and all of a sudden at 8 months pregnant, like, you know what? Now that I'm 8 months pregnant, I just realized I don't want to be a mama. I'm going to call somebody. No.
That's not the way it works. It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. And we
Yeah.
need to still keep speaking this because we got to defend it. Nobody defends it. I see them, people saying it. It doesn't happen. It's not true. And when it happens, it is for a life or death situation. And any woman who has gone through it is suffering.
Yes,
that's right.
Has suffered.
Devastated.
Right.
Devastated.
And I think
Linda had it right. Stop calling it abortion. Start calling it healthcare.
Yeah.
The way they've approached it is so smart that it's healthcare, and Kamala also keeps emphasizing the government does not belong in your doctor's office.
No.
Right.
It's so valid.
That's right. The day after the Dobbs decision was leaked, I went to protest with some friends, and Jonathan Frake's daughter Eliza showed up with 8 of her friends. And I'm standing next to a woman who's 75 years old, and she said, I was protesting this in 1973. And I said, so was I. So was I. And she had a T-shirt on that said, WTF GOP, get out of my bedroom.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. And can we also just rack our brains right now and figure out what is the procedure that a man has to go through that the government gets to weigh in on? Can y'all give me a little hint here? Anybody?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
On whether they can use anything that helps them, those pills that help them get it up. I can't remember. There's some
Viagra.
Thank you.
And you can
ask the government.
Isn't Viagra covered by healthcare?
Yes.
Right.
No, it's actually
not in Virginia. They stopped
but
it.
some states
It definitely was.
Yeah.
That's why they get generic ones because it costs like $100 and some per pill.
But you
a
could-
whole lot of money.
But
per
you can
pill.
still get a generic one.
But you can still get the generic
healthcare
one. though.
doesn't cover it.
Okay, but in some places it is covered though.
Yep.
So I've always wondered why are vasectomies allowed? I mean, it's kind of the same thing. You're preventing a baby being born, right?
Right.
But they seem to be just fine.
Right. Project
Nobody's-
25 wants to get rid of most birth control. So,
Well, then
Well, and I
perhaps
think
we need to tell men that they can't. I don't know how to say it without being inappropriate. If they're masturbating, they're committing genocide for
They're
you can't pleasure yourself no more. Y'all can't pleasure yourself no more.
Wow. Can you imagine?
I think you did that really well, Michelle. Thank you.
Yeah, that was wonderful. You got more class than we do.
They're just wasting babies. They're just
I think
wasting
there's a meme there. I think there's
Definitely a meeting there.
With you.
There we go.
But I think that's the heart of the matter, though, is one of the what you were getting to is the fact that this is very much of a war on women. You know, it's all of these things that we're picking apart is the fact that they do not value us as human beings, which we as Black people, we get that. Like, we've been there, we've done that. Like, we know this mess, like
We lived that.
We
We've
live
been there before.
and it's a bone deep generational trauma that lives inside of us, right?
That's right.
You know, and I think what's happening now, what I'm hoping is mobilizing, is that a lot of women who have not lived that type of generational trauma are getting to understand what that threat to your existence feels like for once. And hopefully that will motivate them to get out to the polls.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I hope. Yeah, I really hope that, because I know for Black women, this is the life we live, not lived, live. Right. And we need everyone to understand and feel it. You're finally feeling what we live and just have to keep going on with. And now everyone is feeling that. Every race, if you're the same gender, we're finally feeling this stuff together, and hopefully we'll stick together, because as women, we're always ready. I know Black women, as we said in our last podcast, we always ready. We're ready for whatever comes. If it's bad, good, and different. That's right. We ready. Because I think it was on our last podcast, our guest, Samara Smallwood said, Smallwood said, you had to be ready. The only way you're going to get white women for Kamala, pets for Kamala, chihuahuas for Kamala, that's the only way all of that was going to happen, if you was ready. You knew what was coming. And now we know what's coming, so we have to be ready. And I think that's why we loved when Kitty and Marnie approached us for this event coming up on 10/3. Star Trek women, Star Trek as a whole, and then the women that we grew up with, who showed us what the future was going to be like. You know, when Sabrina and Fran saw Nichelle on the Enterprise, and all the white men were talking to her as she was an equal. You know, that's what Star Trek women are all about. And it's just a marriage made in heaven. So I just wanted to make sure we understood what we're here for, that we have to stay strong. We have to stay together. Everybody in the chat, I know you guys are all, going in on this and having a great time about it, but we got to be serious too, because, I think Marnie said it, or Katie said it. Every vote counts. Yep. Every little action counts. From today until voting day, everything you do counts. We got to get out there and vote. Vote happy. Don't listen to the white noise around you. Just get out there and get people registered. Let people know that, it's joy. We can have joyful discourse,
and we should be joyous in this moment. Like, as much craziness is coming on the presidential election. I also put it in historical context, right? Like, as much craziness is going yakety 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 yak over here. Like, we've got all this history for women and Black folks and everybody else who was ever disenfranchised in this country to have the right to do this. Like, I feel like voting always should be a national holiday, and I feel every time I go to vote, I might as well be in New Orleans in a second line parade or something, because that's how I feel. Like, I'm like, and I'm dancing into the polls, and I'm dancing out of the polls, because it's a good thing that I get to do. I have the privilege to cast my ballot, right? And all the problems with our with the electoral college and all that stuff aside, in many countries I would not have the right to do this, or even if I did, it would mean nothing.
Right. Yep.
So I feel like, we shouldn't be afraid of joy. And I feel like what negative, small-minded, mean-hearted people cannot fight against is love and joy. And I feel like love and joy is far more infectious than mean-spiritedness and small-mindedness.
And you know what's such a good point there is that we will, and that is what Kamala and Walls are leading with, joy and love. If you find that you are interacting with people who are not leading with love, ask yourself why. Why are you following them? Yeah. When somebody's rhetoric, when somebody continually says negative things about people, when they say, cruel things, hurtful things, when they're diminishing a group of humans, of people, ask yourself a question there, because that is not love. That is not acceptance. That is not kindness. Do you want to be associated with that? Let's get real now. Because when you vote for someone like that, you are supporting that. You are supporting that in one of the most powerful positions in our country. You are supporting that. Let's ask ourselves.
And if you don't vote at all, you're supporting that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because your vote is needed on the other side. That it's like having it has to be over. I wanted to ask Ashlei, as the only person here who's kind of from a different generation. Yeah. I keep hearing younger people saying, "Oh, my vote doesn't really matter." There seems to be a kind of an ennui about it all. Not for everybody, but do you find that very much? I'm hoping that's not true.
At least not in my personal circle. No, we're all registered to vote and vote. But I think most importantly, it's not just that we vote every 4 years. We vote every couple of years for a local election.
That's key.
And I think too, a part of the talk about where's Kamala been in the last 3.5 years, or why hasn't she done anything? And I think that Republican talking point is it's just because it's just like a quick civics lesson.
Oh, yes. Right. Civics? Did you go to civics class?
Okay. And I think it's just.
You would work at the White House. Y'all didn't know she was
right. Right? I'm like, what do you mean? What she does? She's the vice president.
Didn't you work there? I mean, come on, y'all. Come on. But I hear people say it. What has she done? She's had the power. I'm like, did you go to civics class? That's not the way it works. That's not the way it works.
More
no
about
male
her
vice president ever had to answer, really.
What'd you say, Ashlei?
Oh, sorry. I didn't know if I was talking about something. But I was saying, when they're like, I need to know more about Kamala, it just makes you wonder, why the litmus test for her is so high when, she'll pass the test, but it just, when literally there's a convicted felon that she's running against. It's just.
I'm glad you said it.
Even then, she's said a lot. And if you really want the nitty gritty, it's all on the website. You click the little button and it opens up and it tells you.
Yep. Google is your friend.
What, but how?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it really does sort of reveal itself, doesn't it? I mean, the people who are saying, what has she done? Where has she been? All that stuff. I mean, let's just be real. Those are people who are trying to present as if they don't know and that they're undecided. We all know. Because
absolutely.
If you don't know, if you're not sure, and yet you find yourself leaning towards someone who's an election denier, who incited a insurrection, who said that who literally bragged about molesting people. When you say I grab a woman by her pussy, you are bragging about molesting someone. So if you're going to say, I'm not sure what Kamala's doing, but I'm going to go with this guy, then that's bullshit. I call bullshit.
I had a young man, probably 30, say to me, well, I'd really like a true progressive. I said, okay, wait a minute.
Wow. What?
You don't want to hear what came out of my mouth after that, because they would have to take us off the internet.
Bro.
And so the alternative to you not voting for somebody you don't consider a true progressive is that you're going to get Donald Trump? Come on, wake up. Yeah. Wake up and smell the coffee.
Yeah.
Right.
81 million people fired him.
Yeah.
81 million people said,
that's right.
We don't want this idiot back in the White House.
Right. That's right. That's right.
I'm still holding on to that.
Yeah, that was the best line of the whole night, and that was a great line.
And it was factual.
It was not crowd size. That was
it was not crowd size.
I mean, what always continually I find mind-boggling is because I'm a native New Yorker, born and raised in New York City, and all of us New Yorkers know.
Oh boy!
We know him. Yes, we remember when his father, literally the outside voice, not inside, denied Black people to be able to live in his houses. Yeah. And we've also witnessed Trump bankrupt every single company.
Yes,
that he has
every single one that has his name on it.
And then he started a Bitcoin company yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, but I've told the sisters this so many times. I was a teenager when those 5 boys, and they were boys.
Yes.
These were children. He put out a full-page ad asking for the execution of 5 boys.
Teenagers.
What was that about?
They were teenagers, but they were still minors. They were children.
You're talking about the
Central Park 5.
Central Park 5.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Now
this
exonerated 5.
now they exonerated 5. And I grew up with this man.
Yep.
And all his nonsense. And when I saw him running for president, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Because I know whatever he stands for has nothing to do with anything good.
No.
And he's been a racist since I was not a little kid, but since I was a teenager, I've known him, and he has been a racist. So nothing has changed. So I don't care what people say about, he's not a racist. He just wants America to go back. Yeah, he wants to go back to the times when it was okay to be a racist.
Right. He wants to go back to the times he wants us to be out there picking some cotton. That's what he wants.
Yeah.
He wants us barefoot and pregnant. That's what he wants. Like, make no mistake, folks. This man does not want, come on. He doesn't want anything good for anybody like that's in our crew.
Yeah.
Right. That's in our tribe.
I think back sometimes when I was a kid. I think I'm probably the oldest one here. There was no Title IX. Yeah,
3 years.
There was no Title IX. There weren't sports in schools for girls.
Yeah. Not for girls.
You could be a cheerleader. That was your sport. You had to wear skirts. You had to be, it was a complete, that was the 50s.
Your mother couldn't have a credit card in her own name.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't wear slacks or pants to school until I got in the 10th grade.
Yeah.
And that was
I was in 8th grade. I was in 8th grade.
Yeah.
So
Crazy.
no matter how cold it was outside.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I went to Catholic school, so
It was a skirt all the way.
so skirt,
I was in
whatever time it
Minnesota
was.
the bus.
Oh my God, with the skirt on.
I learned how to pull my skirt over. You pull it down.
Yes.
Crazy.
We're always ready.
And the only reason why they started letting us wear slacks was because my school was 3 floors. My high school was 3 floors. The first one was so short because, it was the mini dresses. The boys would look up our skirts, and we complained about our skirts being so short. So they said, okay, you can wear slacks or pantsuit. No jeans.
I know.
Oh.
So of course I got sent to the principal office.
Of course you did.
Jeans.
Okay, wait.
My gym teacher called them dungarees. She called them dungarees.
Right.
So I went to the store and he told me just sit down there and wait and go to your next class.
I was so tall and skinny, and your skirt couldn't be more than a certain number of inches above your knees. So in order to get something that fit me, I would have to kneel on the ground, and I got sent home more than once. And my mom said, what do you want me to do? Like buy clothes and then sew stuff on the bottom of it? They just didn't make them long enough for me.
Wow.
Okay, so see, y'all, this is what this is the whole point of this is what we're talking about is that we're not going back,
Yes, right.
And on October 3rd, if everybody joins us on October 3rd, we're going to have a spectacular night. Do you guys want to talk a little bit about what's planned that night?
Well, very exciting. We've got 2 people that I'm really excited to meet in person over the Stacey Abrams and Cory Booker. Yeah.
Yay!
So between the 2 of them, I think it'll be pretty exciting. We may have a few others as well, we hope. But just with the 2 of them would be great. And we'll have a plan at this point is to have 2 panels with Stacey, so that she's kind of asking the questions and so forth. And so we'll have maybe 5 or 6 of you all, Michelle and Ashlei, with Stacey on the screen, talking about well, the first one might be about making sure everybody is registered and knows how to vote. The second panel might be more about donating and volunteering.
Yeah. But then on top of that, we wanted to bring the Sci-Fi Sisters in and have them give us like 5 minutes, because Star Trek is about community, and it's not just about Michelle and Ashlei or even the two of us. It's about the world of the Star Trek community.
Exactly.
And so we wanted you guys to come on and talk about that, because you're such a part of the community and such leaders in that community that I know when I called you guys, I knew you would like get the vote out. You would get the vote out.
Yeah. The effect of all of this will be amplified if everybody can not only go vote, but take 5 people with them.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, and it is hard to talk to people sometimes about this because you get so passionate and but I think it's really important that people have the confidence to go and talk to their friends and find out what they're planning to do.
And here's something that I was reminded of today. I was listening to NPR and they were doing a quiz and I went, I know the answer to that. There is no state in the union where that you get there and they say, well, your registration's wrong, that you can't ask for a provisional ballot.
That's right.
To give you a provisional ballot.
You are not supposed to be turned away.
That's right.
So if they say to you, no, you're not here, ask for the provisional ballot.
Yep.
Please.
That's right.
And definitely going to be talking about that on the 3rd, though.
Yeah. And a really important thing is, we know what the base is. We know what his base is, right? We know that strong's not going anywhere. It's so important to get people who have never voted to get to the polls now.
Yeah.
Encourage them, talk to them, tell them that their vote really does matter. I do my darndest when I reach out to my Republican friends, and I do believe that we have to do that because we're all on this one beautiful little planet together, and we have to learn how to work together. And I have many Republican friends that we are still, we are friends, and we will, delicately go through conversations. But at a certain point, you have to realize, you have to read the room, you know who you can change and who you can't. I'm not going to waste any of my energy to get myself frustrated on people who are not going to be changing. It's perfectly fine. I respect your point of view. Let me go to someone who really has never even voted before, who thinks that their vote doesn't matter and thinks that, she'll win. Let me encourage them to stand up and do that. So please reach out to people who you who haven't yet voted, who are young, are college students, Ashley's friends. I know Ashley's friends are already voting, but you know what I mean.
Friends of their friends aren't.
Friends of friends,
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Get the word out.
That's right.
It's always
Good.
interesting to me when I ask, no, so why? Tell me what it is, I like his policies. I go, which ones?
Right.
Some of them just don't want to talk to you, but some of them will go, well, I don't know. If you just keep asking questions of them.
They like the concept of his policies. Concept.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Ashley?
Yeah, sure. No, I just was going to say that I want to stress to folks too, especially young folks, not to just focus on the presidential part, but also to vote just down the ballot so that we need both the House and the Senate to actually get their policies done, and just to springboard from the foundation of the Biden administration.
So important. Thank you.
And judges.
Yes. So I also want to say I'm very big into local politics.
Yes.
And I think local politics is the most important thing you could ever get involved in. School boards, local elections, governors, mayors, county executives, city council,
And even in DC, we have things like your neighborhood, neighborhood advisory commissions and even smaller levels, I'm saying as well. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't forget voting should be something that you do with your family. I just think it's I forgot who said it, but elections should be a national holiday.
I know, right?
Our country is built on the peaceful transition of power, and we are losing that. It is slipping out of our grasp, and I think the problem is we have these people who have no idea what the hell is going on in politics, and they're just listening to anyone. And I think what we were saying before, you didn't listen in civics class when you think the vice president is making policies, because that's not the job of the vice president.
They're not even teaching civics in half the schools anymore. So
Crazy.
That's right.
Well,
Because if they don't teach civics, they don't vote.
Right, exactly. And that's the reason why the election day is not going to be a holiday. They don't want you voting. If you think politicians, Democrat or Republican, really want you voting, well, I'm going to tell you, they really don't. And, right now we want to get the vote out, but there are some places I've seen Democrats could be just as bad as Republicans on that issue, in some places. So don't worry about what is going on in the ether. As I think I said before, you have to get out there and vote as an American citizen. Yeah. It is your right. It is your privilege, because most people don't get this privilege around the world. There are so many people around this world who don't get this privilege.
Why do you think everybody wants to come to this country?
Right. Exactly.
They have the ability. You have the things that we take for granted, that we do this, what we're doing right now. We take this for granted. The fact that we're sitting here speaking our minds right now, openly.
That's right.
Out there in the world, we take this for granted. Most people, we're not dying because we're speaking our minds.
That's
we
right.
didn't disappear. There's reasons why.
Does anybody know what would it take to make it a national holiday? Is that a federal something? It's not in the
it's definitely federal. It would have to be federal.
It would have to be a
congressional bill. It's a bill,
an amendment.
So just like Juneteenth, you just push it in.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
They pushed Juneteenth in real quick after all the protests. They were like, well, we need to slip this right here.
So we need to get.
And then we got it in our SAG-AFTRA contracts too.
Somebody to carry it.
Oh, I love
there
it.
You go.
Yes.
After you vote and they give you that sticker, wear it proudly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Vote early on the day
And post it. Post it like you know how to post. Make a TikTok. Put it out there, especially if you're voting early. Put a TikTok out. Put a reel out. Just make it happy. Make it just cheerful, joyful. Let people see how happy you are that you did this thing. Because people love a smiling face. And if you are out there smiling, I learned that from YouTube. If you're out there smiling, they love you, so and they might just say, oh, this voting thing isn't so a waste of my time. Somebody's happy about doing it.
I want to join the party. I want to join the
right. I don't. People don't like having FOMO. So, play on that also.
That's right. Get in this moment. That's right. This is
How can you sit on the sidelines when the first black woman is up for election? How can you sit on the sideline? I don't care if you think it's not going to weigh in, but it weighs in with you. I voted. This is the one I want. I want to be a part of history. If you're going to sit there and just watch, what would it take for you to say don't come? I mean, you're gonna run and vote. You're gonna run to the Super Bowl. You're all mad about Lil Wayne. You're gonna say something about that, but you're not gonna get up and vote. You just caused all kinds of internet craziness about who was gonna be in the Super Bowl halftime. Let's see some stuff about who's gonna run the country for the next 4 years.
Right. Yeah. I mean, after all of that Drake and Kendrick Lamar crap, at least you can go out. That was a saga. Okay. I want to see that same energy.
Right. Here's my challenge. Anybody that posted about that, anybody that posted about Kendrick Lamar or Drake or Lil Wayne better have your butts registered. If you made a post about any of those three men,
that's right.
You need to register to vote. And you better tell me why you
want to see that sticker. We want to see that sticker, right?
Right. I want to see that sticker.
Show me the sticker.
That's right.
Show me the sticker.
Right. Show me the sticker if you commented on that mess.
I see voting more of a right than a privilege. I see it's a right. It's my right
Well, I think it's both of those things.
Well, it's both.
But I see it more as a right, because a privilege means that you're kind of giving me permission to do it. A right is, I'm going to vote because this is my right to do.
I see that. I see you.
I get that. I get that. Yeah.
Especially with us, when I turned,
I get that.
They turned. I remember back. Some people on the panel will know back in the 70s how they got the 18-year-olds to vote. It was like, I can go and die for my country, but I can't vote. They protested. Yep. They did what they needed to do. My ancestors, my elders, got, this is my right. I mean, they got all these roadblocks, including hoses, dogs,
lynching,
competency tests, poll taxes. And I actually remember seeing these books posted on polls, really thick books here in Virginia. And this lady here named Evelyn Butts got it thrown out, saying it was unconstitutional. So all of this says, you're not giving me this. This is my right.
I earned it.
Right.
American citizens.
So
that's it. She's right.
Yep. That's a great
really
point,
good
Fran.
point. Yeah.
Yep. She's right. She's right.
Don't get me wrong, but for me, it's more of a right, because I'm a United States senator and I was born, and I'm
Well, no, you don't now. You don't start to now.
No.
I'm proud to be.
Now you preach.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, because I remember I was just, my uncle. I had an uncle who sat at the counter, who protested and sat at the counter. So I was just behind those who could do it. But I remember, it was instilled in me. You need to vote. You need to vote. You need to vote. And that's my right. And I'm going to exercise my right.
Yes,
because I am almost 70 years old, and I am going to be at the polls on Monday, because our polls here in Virginia open on Friday. And
there you go.
Monday.
Early vote. Early vote.
That's another message for everybody. If you can early vote, check in your state. You can early vote, do it.
If you go on the website, you can find out more about early voting. So please check the website. It's not just about October 3rd. There's a whole bunch of stuff on the website about voting, how you can be a voting leader. There's just a donating, a whole bunch of stuff. So please check out the website.
There's a button for volunteering. Anything you want to do with the campaign, from writing postcards to walking around the neighborhood to whatever, and phone calling. There's a button for checking your registration and then getting registered if you aren't. And there's a button for donations.
And I would encourage you, if you're doing any voting by mail, I would encourage you guys to try to do a Dropbox, an official Dropbox, just because I trust people. I don't trust people. Let's just drop it in, give it to the hands that are going to count it, as opposed to just putting in the U.S. mail, which is lovely.
Yes.
Put it in Dropbox.
Yeah, I agree with that. We do a lot of absentee voting here. I was in the military and I was overseas for quite some time. Even just make sure you give it to the official. If anybody is watching this and they're overseas and they're in the military, give it to the official that your drill sergeant or your sergeant or your commander told you to give it to. Don't go to the mail office and hand it in there. Give it to who the designated person is. Also, if you have children in college, make sure you find out exactly when their deadline is if they cannot come home to vote. Make sure they're registered even though they can't come home to vote, because they can still put in the absentee ballots. And if you live overseas and you're working overseas, that's the same thing. There's somebody you can
make it easy. Both of my children live overseas, and they don't make it easy to vote.
They do not.
The ballots are a little confusing anyway.
It's very confusing. It's very confusing.
Two things I want say quickly about this. One is, in the state of Texas, their website makes it look like you can register on their website.
Yes.
You can't. But you can go to a library. So if you have a library in your neighborhood and you're in Texas and you're hearing this and you're not registered, go to the library, because the website is purposely difficult. The second thing is, I heard we were in Las Vegas. We were all in Las Vegas at the convention, and Jerry was speaking from the stage, and I had some friends with me who wanted to hear that panel. So I was sitting there, and Jerry talked about during the primaries this year, Jerry Ryan, she didn't get her ballot, and she didn't get her ballot, and she didn't get her ballot. So she went and checked. Somebody had purposely moved her address to someplace she'd never heard of. That's why I'm asking everybody to please check that your registration is correct.
Yes. Yeah.
Check.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. If you go to vote early, you can find out these things ahead of
Another
time.
reason.
Yep. Good point.
Well, even if you have already
last
registered, please check your registration. I beg of you to check your registration. There are a lot of tactics out there. There are a lot of, if fraud does happen, and it happens on both sides. So please check your registration. Because like she just said about Jerry, it could happen. If it happened to Jerry, it could happen to any one of us. Yeah. So please check it, especially people who have been registered for so long that they just go ahead and vote because they don't realize, they don't think about it, especially if you vote all the time. Definitely check.
If you haven't voted in 8 years, you need to be changed. You need to be checking up.
Yeah. If you haven't voted in a long time, please check your registration.
Please go.
Yeah.
Sabrina, what were you about to say?
Nothing. I'm just going to say that check your registration, even if you are in a state that you think is solidly blue.
Mm-hmm.
That's not about nefarious.
Especially that one.
Right. It's not about nefarious things. Sometimes it is just a glitch. Sometimes it is just, it's just an accident. It's just an oversight. It's just just go there's a lot of people. There's a lot of names. So make sure it's right. Even if you're in a state that you think, they couldn't do anything in my county or my state. Yeah, they couldn't, but maybe they just dropped something. So check it.
Right.
Yeah. That happens a lot.
Yeah.
For the people who, in California, our ballots tend to be long. Maybe they are everywhere, but we're voting for judges and for all kinds of things. And if you haven't looked ahead of time, you go, I don't know. I've never heard of these
people, right?
Yeah, exactly. But it's really easy to find resources that tell you all that. The major newspaper, the major radio station, they almost all have websites where you can go and they'll tell you all about everybody.
Right.
It's relatively easy and kind of fun.
Yep. Or go to your ACLU or your whatever organization that you trust.
Yeah.
Go to them. Ask them.
Yeah. So, you guys, I think that I hope this is sort of like entice people and give them a little tease, just a little bit about what's going to be happening on October 3rd when we get together with with everybody, and it's going to be the big shebang. And I'm so grateful that you all were able to come in tonight, though, and talk to us, because, October 3rd is going to be busy and it's going to be like a whole bunch of people. But to have this time with you all to speak and let everybody listen to the things that you have to say in a more personal level, it's just really beautiful. And we can't thank you enough for that.
And I got to say, I've been reading all the little comments that your community has been posting, and you guys are awesome. You're really amazing. You're very educated, very learned. You're speaking dropping some truths and some beautiful sage advice in there. And I'm grateful for you, my sisters, for having this platform and this community for showing up and being so woke, which I'm going to continue.
Thank you. I'm going to begin with.
They bastardized woke. Woke is a good word, you guys.
It is. Yeah. I mean, it came from us, and they just totally changed it. Well, what hasn't? Honestly, what hasn't?
It means staying vigilant. It means staying alive.
That's what it does.
Keeping your eyes open and looking out and looking behind and looking forward.
Yeah.
Be woke. Right. Be woke.
Yeah.
And I also want to say, can we can we take back our country? I mean, I love this country, and I love flying my flag. You know, I want to get to that point where it's okay for everybody to fly their flag. You know, I served this country for 12 years and 30 as a civil servant. And I love this country. And thank you for your whatever it was. Thank you for everything. I mean, it's just, I want to fly my flag again. And I feel like I can't do that because I don't want anyone to think that I am flying it for the wrong reason, you know. But I just want us to get back to that. And because I love this country very much. And I would give any, you know, I've signed up to give my life for this country. And I just want my kids, and if I ever have grandchildren, to be proud of, you know, living here. I know so many people just not proud of being Americans anymore, you know, and I think that hurts. That hurts because I know how great this country can be.
Well, and I not only can be, but I believe that there are way more people out there that are like us than are like the other side. They're really loud, but I just can't believe that there are that many of them. I just refuse to believe it.
Well, you know,
I don't know.
Somebody told me once. Actually, it was during the ratification period of our SAG-AFTRA contracts, and after we've done all that work, 7 months of strike, and we finally came up with a contract, and we wanted our members to ratify it, and they were so mad. And they kept yelling at us and telling us we should have done better. And I was so confused because I was like, we spent 7 months and blood, sweat, and tears, and really did the best we could. We made $1 billion in gains.
Best contract we ever got, Michelle. Thank you.
The best contract. And I remember sitting there at a dais at one point when we did a town hall, and I leaned over to one of my members, my negotiating members. I said, Why are they so mad? Why are they yelling at us? We did the best that we could, and we got a phenomenal contract. And he said to me, he goes, Michelle, angry people are loud. Happy people aren't loud. They're like, thank you. Angry people are like, So I feel, and this is the only thing that I keep trying to remind myself. There's a lot of angry people right now, and we're hearing their loud voices. But there's a ton of people who are ready and see the light and are peacefully, happily ready to make that, click that Harris Waltz button. They're just not yelling at anybody because they're not as angry. So
that's right.
Yeah.
I get such a great point. Thank you for bringing, that's so true. We all need to hear that, a lot, because we can feel like we're like shouting into the void sometimes, know. I mean, I think that's why our community, the Trek community, is so special, and especially in times like this, like we really are. I'm grateful that I have this community because I never feel alone.
Yes. Yeah.
When I first started going to cons back in, like 88, 89, really early ones, they were all fan run ones. And I was just knocked out by the inclusion of everybody. It didn't, you were just immediately taken in, and everybody there was taken in. Didn't matter what you looked like, didn't matter how you, disabled, not, it was the most wonderful. And I always defend the when you hear certain things about the fans, I go no, they're the best. They're the best
people.
Best.
They believe in science, they believe in the future, they believe in kindness, they believe in goodness.
It's always been a safe space.
That's right. They seek out, they believe in hope for a better tomorrow.
Yes,
we definitely do.
And we've got anyone right there who's going to make it even better.
It's time to turn the page, you guys, and go forward. That's what we got going on. Let's turn the page.
That's right. And vote for it. That's it. I love it. I love it. Yes.
I wore my T-shirt like that in Canada. I lived there sometimes, and I had 3 older women. That's me. Who said, like your shirt. So just wanted to quickly mention that everybody should just keep checking the website too, because we're adding people all the time. We just added 2 people today, and so
Do you want to tell everybody who you have so far, or do you want to just tell them
that's
to go?
a good idea.
Go to the website and read it. You'll have a
Okay. You don't want to leave nobody out.
They got everybody.
About 25 actresses, and then all of you, and
the casting director. Somebody put, like everybody on Next Generation on the show, and one of the science advisors to the show, and we're adding people all the time, and we're hoping to add a bunch more of the new Trek actors as we go along. Yeah,
that's so cool. I'm so excited for this. I mean, first of all, we know that women, we rule. We know we rule, and the women of Trek especially. And and I was just so excited to see that you guys put this together, and really grateful that you guys asked us to be a part of it. And I can't wait for October 3rd. I hope you guys out there can't wait for October 3rd. It's going to be amazing.
And all the men can join too. I know.
Please. We got a ton of them. We got a ton of them in the chat. Believe me. We have a huge male following that is just so exciting for us. I mean, we started this for. Hopefully, we thought we're gonna get some black nerds, black women nerds, but all we saw was all these men. I was like, all right, okay, whatever works, and they are here till the end. So I appreciate all of them, and they know who they are because they're always there. I mean, they have our backs all the time. Yeah,
and we know you. And there's some other men who aren't black that are here, and we appreciate.
Oh, and we're not. I wasn't talking about black men. That's right. All the men. Yeah, I mean, all of them.
Menses. We'll take
menses. That's right. Yes. Okay. Yes.
As we say, everybody is welcome on the mothership.
Always.
Sci-Fi Sisters Mothership. We got everybody.
Everybody's welcome.
As much as you thanked us, I want to thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for being part of the team.
Made a huge difference.
Yeah. Yay, sisters.
Appreciate you all. Yes. Oh my gosh, we're blushing over here.
I know, right?
I know it.
Well, I know it's about that time. So, and we just, one more time, I just want to say thank you guys for your time and coming out to talk to our community. And you guys out there, take away everything you heard tonight and bring 5 people. If everybody out there can bring 5 people to the event on Tuesday so we can raise a lot of money.
Share.
Out that vote. Share. Get 5 people to vote. Bring 5 people to October 3rd. Okay.
Because voting is your superpower.
Sure it is.
Wear your cape to the booth. We all gonna have cape. Purple now. Purple capes. Purple capes.
Y'all know I'll find it, right?
Oh yes.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna say good night. We love you all. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, love and hair grease.
Bye.
Good night.
You can find us at sci-fisistas.com. That's SYFYSISTAS.com. Join us on the mothership. That's MUTHASHIP. And the Sci-Fi Sisters Book Club, both on Facebook. On Instagram, TikTok, and Threads, sci-fi.sisters. And we are also on that platform formerly known as Twitter at Sci-Fi Sisters. For more interviews, the live show, and our infamous Top 10 series, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Sci-Fi Sisters Inc. Become a patron of Sci-Fi Sisters today at patreon.com/Sci-Fi Sisters. The Trek Geeks the Trek Geeks Network's presenting sponsor is Fansets. Go to fansets.com for pins and memorabilia from all your favorite franchises. Visit fansets.com and use Trek Geeks, all caps, for your exclusive 10% discount. After listening to this podcast, please rate us and write a review. We may just read it on an upcoming episode.
We might, if we can say words that day. We'd also like to thank people dear to our hearts, our associate producers. We love you all very much. That's Karen Dramera, Stephanie Baker, and Sailor Marj. We love you all. And thank you for everything you do for us, and you're incredible human beings. And we'd like to thank the baddest engineer in any and all known universes. That's Dose, the anonymous one. And if you are in need of his services, which are, he provides all the music for us on our show, and as well as our production services, our sound audio services. I can say words. I swear to God, I can say words. He's responsible for all the music you hear on our show, as well as all the audio production on our show. And if you are in need of his services, hit him up on Instagram at dose_the_anonymous_1. That's the number 1. And that's it for us this week. We love you all. Thank you so much for listening. Peace, love, and hair grease, friends.